be
What's up, everybody? We are waiting on the lawyers to come out.
all right. We'll keep waiting to see for the next update for the judge and for these people to come outside.
No bond, baby.
When they did the DJ was playing, they had a DJ contest. That was the building, and they filmed it there. So Puff was actually doing the unsigned hype in that place, and
What's up? What's up? Court just ended, and we are waiting on them to come out. But I will let you know right now, he is not getting out.
so
He had court to see if he was going to get a bond, and he is not getting a bond. He will stay in jail. This is just an interview that's being played in the background. So, okay. What's up, Maddie?
either follow him, or drop him off right there for the girl.
At this point, is Diddy making money?
Yeah, they're going to be doing the press conference in just a minute. But just so you know, the word on the street is he will not be getting out.
I don't know the revenue in which he.
But he's not yet a millionaire. He's
No,
not
not
yet
at all.
driving the cars and all that.
He had a Cabriolet, a Volkswagen.
Yeah,
Cab-
that's literally what he drove.
yeah, that's what he drove.
Okay.
It was convertible.
So for you, Gene, at the time, who are you in 1990? Are you somebody with a reputation? And if yes, what's your reputation in 90?
Well, I helped start the same gang. That's the crew that we had. It was me, Mike Owens, they called him Mike Cock at the time, Rick Dalton.
Okay, and the last thing they said, the attorney, for the record, Mr. Combs was arrested last night at 8:25 p.m. The judge says thank you, and we're adjourned. Okay, so the court is done for today. Let's see if they walk outside.
No bond.
Let's see if I find a audio.
Oh, he's guilty. Billed, denied. We're waiting on the press conference. His lawyer's supposed to be coming out.
Damn, yo, my thumbnail, isn't that so creepy? Such a creepy picture of Diddy.
Please, so what do we like? The plan is that no one gets. So we should just all gang up on the videographer, right? Sounds good. Let's just all be good to each other. Okay. Are we staying long lens until a certain point? Yeah. But I mean, what point is that? Honestly, the point to the first person doesn't. So I'm going to start walking in front.
We're waiting on him to come out.
They're all the same. They look like that Robin Palmer video. That's the proof. That's from this case. 6 a.m. for this. Until 6 a.m. Okay. I know. I'm glad. I got here early though. I'm glad.
What up, everybody?
Sam, why did you say no dirty thing? Sorry.
Not gonna happen.
Came from the Mayflower, the Nina, and the Santa Maria. That is specific. came from the Mayflower, the Nina, and the Santa Maria. But let's actually stop it. That is specifically a black term. It is black. So now, as a culture might use it. Hey, what's up, guys? You are wired. Back unmuted, and yes, I believe I am unmuted. But you know what?
Not gonna happen. Give him a bond so he can. Not gonna happen.
Arrested. Everybody says taken into custody. That mofo has been arrested. However, this attorney came out and said a whole bunch of nothing. According to the U.S. attorney that is prosecuting this case.
All right, let's go. They are still in the courtroom, and as that lady said, and he is not coming out. What's up, Jonathan? I laid back down. I'm not even gonna lie. I gotta work tonight. Just woke back up again. I'm awake now, though. Bow, chicka, bow, wow. And also, you guys, if you want to hear the videos or anything like that, I've been putting everything in my members only. So make sure you're a member so you can watch the lives that you might miss. I mean, if you're live, then you're good. But if not, you can always be a member and then you'll see what we'd be talking about. But we did a video this morning on this as well. We listened to the all the paperwork, court papers, and then we listened to the press conference this morning that the feds did. It's all in our members only part. Oh, there we are. There. Oh, food toy. This is not only do they know, they were involved. This has been going on for a long time, sweetie. Yeah. That's where all the videos are, is the members. They're pretty cheap. But that's where I put everything at. Allegedly. P.Diddy's guilty, but I believe he is. Wholeheartedly, I believe he is. I've been letting this game.
He's fucking friend married. He's not all structured. Did he really threaten that? Smash his dogs. Yeah.
No, he won't get away with it like other people have, like Trump or whoever. More powerful people than him. No, he'll be the person that goes down. There'll be other people that'll go down with him, but not any of the higher elites. Probably not. Especially the ones that's been in all these cases. It's all the same circle. Different names, maybe different communities, different parts, you know what I mean? But if you do your research, you will see a lot of these people all in pictures together.
Some more toys. Those are like the universal tourist shorts. Got like plaid shorts. Like,
Thank you, Joy.
Those things come out.
What's up, bud? How are you doing, babe? No, he's not. He's not. I know you may believe that in your heart of hearts, but yeah, no.
What's that?
Well, he snitched to get a better sentence. He's been in, like I was telling everybody earlier, he's been in New York for a minute because the DOJ thing's been going on. And he's supposedly cooperating. You know, sing like a mockingbird. Years this motherfucker's probably gonna be facing all the shit that he's got coming to him. Allegedly, if they find him guilty on everything. Woo! He gonna sing like a, yeah. It's gonna go down. Okay, here they come.
I'm not sure. Guys are creeping up on the right. I have to go one way or
Yeah, that's the only reason.
Looks like two sides. It was different. It was like 500 growth sheet. This the long time one says 200, and this one's like a different. They have to say 200. Yes. Watch both tight and prefer. I can't sign some of
Bad what was your bad choice of words? You didn't have no bad choice of words. Exactly what he's gonna be doing, snitching. All right, here we go.
This is the first step. We have a bail appeal scheduled for tomorrow at 3:30 in front of Judge Carter, the district judge assigned to this case. I think that we made the points that we've been wanting to make. I think he came out. Mr. Combs is a fighter. He's going to fight this to the end. He's innocent. He came to New York to establish his innocence. He's not afraid. He's not afraid of the charges. There's nothing that the government said in their presentation today that changes anyone's mind about anything. He's been looking forward to this day. He's been looking forward to clearing his name, and he's going to clear his name. And we're going to stand by his side as he does. We believe in him wholeheartedly. He didn't do these things. This was a 10-year relationship. There's no coercion. There's no crime. There's basically just, someone who brought a civil case and now is finding themselves as a witness in a criminal case. And we're going to fight this case with everything we have, as is he. And eventually he's going to be shown to be innocent. And so tomorrow we fight again, and we'll fight every day until we don't have to fight anymore.
Yeah, you got a big fight, buddy.
I don't know. The question is, why did it happen last night instead of today? I don't know the answer to that question. I just want to make one point very clear. We have no power. All we can do is show good faith. He got on a plane and he came here. And if he stayed here for one day before the case started, or for 1 year before the case started, he was going to stay as long as he needed to stay. It ends up being only 12 days. That's fine. That's what the government wanted to do. The government didn't want him to turn himself in. He came here to turn himself in. Why doesn't the government want him to turn himself in? Because then they can't ask for detention. So they go and they arrest him. They arrest the guy who came to New York to turn himself in. But we're going to make all these points again tomorrow, and we'll make.
I might give a fuck about
so we
your
get
sympathy card.
I have.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow. Tomorrow. Wait, what was the question? We're appealing it. Yeah, we're no bail. No bail. He's detained.
We're appealing it.
Oh, I'm sorry. We're appealing the decision to hold him without bail. Tomorrow at 3:30. 3:30. Same place. Bail appeal. Bail appeal. Bail appeal tomorrow 3:30. Same courtroom. Different judge. He's doing fine. He's a fighter. He's a fighter, and he's gonna fight this. All right, I'm gonna go. Thank you. I don't get into that stuff.
Okay, what is it tomorrow? 2 p.m.
Bail appeal. Bail appeal. Bail appeal tomorrow 3:30. Same courtroom.
3:30.
Different judge. He's doing fine. He's a fighter. He's a fighter, and he's gonna fight this. All right, I'm gonna go. Thank you. I don't get into that stuff. Everyone's doing okay. Yeah. All right.
He's out of here. Nah, yeah, we'll see if the prosecutor. Oh, all right, y'all. And there's a statement from the judge. I just have to find it because he was talking about it a minute ago. But basically, the judge was saying that there was a lot of violence in this, there was a lot of guns in this, and that's why that the person didn't let him out on bond. So, a short summary of what they said. So tomorrow at 3:30, there will be another bond hearing, and hopefully it will get denied as well. I don't think he deserves to be out.
Yes, we're back to waiting. Oh, they got Diddy? Oh, family. Hold on.
They'll fight do that stuff.
Okay.
Those are his sons.
Expecting him to be released today, or are you surprised? Sorry.
I want to get my boys. Right.
Media frenzy.
Support your father. I am betting that the appeal will be denied.
How could you support your father?
Chelsea. All right, so that's just them walking again. Someone's a liar. Well, good thing I'm not in charge of this case, huh? So now we'll see if the prosecutors come out at all. Let's see what they have to say. But I'll say this, that hopefully that it gets denied tomorrow too. Let's just them getting in their car. There you go. That's it. Oh, as that goes.
Yeah, get the zombies in New York. Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun. Let me see if I can go back and hear it when he was talking about what the judge said.
You should be mad at Diddy creating the atmosphere
Yeah, you.
for interviews, especially what the hell I was driving. It was there. I said, bro, you ain't going on there because he told me They don't
Yeah,
want
he's definitely guilty.
these stories. First and foremost,
You know what he said? This is clearly AI generated.
time two rappers. Is going to speak or say nothing.
He won up. That's a problem. Eddie, I like when you scrambling.
I know, I'm just chilling.
Come on. About six of them. All the people are saying.
Intimidate a witness. This is a presumption case based on sex trafficking. The judge says Mr. Combs, the government, first.
Is it true that the main girl in the big pop video is a transsexual? Yeah.
Good.
That's the girl. The girl. Yeah. It was a transsexual. She ended up getting killed. I heard the same thing too. Man. I think that that gingerbread they killed themselves or whatever.
What? The other guy said she was murdered.
Yeah, but it was a transgender way back then. And no one knew she was a transsexual. I guess not. Or somebody did know that, but didn't tell the artist. They played like that, man. That was what was that? Was it Hype Williams? Was it? It was one of those guys who was big at that time. He was doing all kind of videos. What's the director that did the video?
He's here already talking
Was
about
Hype Williams
the
or the other
judge
guy?
statement. That's what I'm
Benny
trying
Medina
to
or
get to.
Benny?
All right, let me give you some updates from inside the courtroom. Now, this is starting from an hour ago, and I'm going to read it up to now so we know everything that's going on. So it says Sean Combs is sitting at the defense table in a black shirt with two U.S. Marshals standing behind him and his lawyer, Mark Agnifilo. Prosecutor's table is full, stacked. Let's see. All rise. The judge's name is Robin F. Tarnowski, presiding. Okay. The judge says you have the right to be represented by a lawyer for this proceeding, and any questioning by authorities. The indictment has 3 counts of racketeering, conspiracy, including sex trafficking, forced labor and bribery, arson, and obstruction of justice. Judge, victim 1 was forced to engage in these acts, sexual acts. You are charged with knowingly transporting an individual to engage in prostitution. Did you receive a copy? The attorney for Huffy says yes. And how do you plead? Not guilty. So we knew that. The judge asking if they have a set conference date, and they said yes, September 24th, 10 a.m.
September 24th, 10 a.m.
Just take a note of this, Puffy. See if I can see here. Puffy conference. Or Diddy. Save that for now in case. And so September 24th, 10 a.m. The judge says, I exclude Speedy Trial Act time. Until then, we will have a detention hearing. These crimes carry a maximum sentence of life in prison or death. These crimes carry a maximum sentence of life in prison or death. There's a risk of flight, and that person will obstruct justice, or this is the attorney, I think, AUSA Johnson, will obstruct justice or attempt to intimidate a witness. This is a presumption case based on sex trafficking. The judge says, Mr. Combs, the government bears the burden of establishing that you are a danger to the community, government. The attorney says the defendant, Sean Combs, abused victims for decades. He used vast resources of his company to commit and cover up these crimes. Pretrial services agrees he should be detained after interviewing him. He's facing significant charges with mandatory prison time. Okay, we request an order of detention. ASUA says he set up freak-offs, forcing sex and pleasuring himself. He also filmed some of them. He stocked the room with narcotics so that female victims would continue for multiple days. The attorney continued.
Will all those that have been involved be exposed? We don't know yet. I mean, you know how that goes. We're still waiting for all the Epstein lists to be exposed, though.
The defendant committed other physical assaults, kidnapping, and arson. He surrounded himself with and use of firearms, including 3 defaced AR-15s we seized, 1 in LA, 2 in Miami, in his bedroom closet. We're up to 50 minutes ago. We're still catching up. The indictment charges bribery and obstruction of justice. Let me give an example. March 5th, 2015, at the Intercontinental Hotel in LA, disclosed in May of this year. This incident is critical. It is a recorded example of use of force. The victim sought to leave a freak-off party. He assaulted her. Wrote that wrong.
This
When
is all
hotel
notes
security
coming out of the
was
courtroom, by
helping
the way.
the victim leave the hotel, the defendant attempted to bribe the officer with a handful of cash. The guard refused. The defendant tried to get the video. The video disappeared from the hotel servers. We kind of talked and covered all this. It's not a coincidence. The cover-up continued for another 7 years. There was a civil lawsuit in mid-November 2023 that detailed the assault at the Intercontinental. The defendant denied it, called it lies. Fast forward to the video being publicized. Then the defendant admitted he was involved in the assault. It is clear you cannot believe him when he denied things. Make no mistake, March 5th is just one example of there are of numerous assaults, choking, etc. The freak-off activity is the core of the case. The risk of danger in this case is acute. There has been spontaneous violence, so it is difficult to craft any conditions for release. It's this long-standing pattern of abuse entirely undeterred. Witnesses have been interviewed, or witnesses we have interviewed have universally expressed fear. They're afraid. The defendant has contacted witnesses who received grand jury subpoenas. He contacted at least one victim.
That's a no-no.
Contact with witnesses on September 10th, a week ago. Don Richard sued before September 14. Statement by Ms. Harper, the defendant called her 54 times in one day.
God
Wow.
damn. Yeah.
Some of the
That's why he ain't getting out.
defendant contacts victims and witnesses are meant to evade. He uses intermediaries, which we covered all this just earlier. And
yep, that they talked about that in the Fed
presumption
press conference earlier. They said a year ago or something along those lines, he was given a key to the city, and now he's, in this case, will prosecute anybody. Da 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 da. They said, but yeah, he did receive a key to the city.
Revoked bail in this circuit. Not fun to say. They're not saying Diddy had his bail revoked. They're giving an example of a different situation in this other court. Fitting a false narrative. R. Kelly was detained. Jeffrey Epstein was detained on conduct going much further back in time. Keith Raniere detained on all 3 grounds, even though the violence was committed by others. His incentive to flee changed when he was arrested last night. I don't know who this Keith Raniere is. Who's that? Let me look it up. Keith Raniere. Is an American cult leader who was convicted of a pattern of racketeering activity, including human trafficking, sex offenses, and fraud. Okay. He's a purported self-help, multi-level marketing company offering personal development and seminars, headquartered in Albany, New York. Wow. Okay. So they're using him as an example as well. What's all those documents? Not the Diddy files? Yeah, they're rolling out the Diddy files? What is that? Ugh. Okay, I'm gonna keep reading, but we'll see if they. I'm at 38 minutes before, so I'm taking you through some of the transcripts, some of the things that was going on in the courtroom. I found a reporter that has this information. So his incentive to flee changed when he was arrested last night. The defendant is a wealthy man. It allows him to flee quickly without detection. His counsel have taken steps to minimize flight risk to set him up for the argument made today. But then his incentives were entirely different. He flew to New York 2 weeks ago. He had what appears to be narcotics found in his hotel last night. Okay, we just talked about it. So this dude, the feds are looking into him. Hell's raining down upon him. He knows they're going to arrest him. And he's in his hotel last night, right when they arrested him. And they found this pink powder that says it tested positive for ecstasy and other drugs. Okay. This is the Harlan detention case. This package is woefully inadequate, only focuses on a flight risk. The government has spoken to over 50 witnesses. We have sworn out warrants for cloud accounts. The search have yielded 90 cell phones and 30 other devices, including surveillance system. The freak-offs are corroborated. 300 grand jury subpoenas. The defendant poses a danger to these proceedings through obstruction. He should be detained pending trial. The judge says, Mr. Agivlo, with a question mark, and this is Diddy's attorney. He replies, I'm going to address the government's letter, but first, on September 5th, Mr. Combs flew to New York. So this is 30 minutes ago now. We're catching up to what was happening in the courtroom. Diddy's attorney says, we could tell an indictment was coming in the fall from our meetings with the prosecutor's chiefs. My client flew to New York. I told the prosecutors I'd like him to have the opportunity to turn himself in. We got involved in this case March 2024. We've been doing our own investigation. On March 13, I reached out to my colleagues at the U.S. Attorney's Office and asked to meet. The November 2023 lawsuit seems connected. It got attention. They read the papers. After the raids, we took Mr. Combs' passport on April 1st. After that, anytime he traveled domestically, we told prosecutors. A trip to graduations in California, another one for whitewater rafting. We wanted to build trust to surrender Mr. Combs flew to New York to say, you want me? I know you want me. Here he is. We were worried that he had an airplane. We said we have to sell it. There's a financial management company that deals with these issues. We're trying. Why are we trying to sell the plane? It's not our first rodeo. The plane, someone else is using it from LA to Teterboro tonight. Just my luck. I wouldn't have the temerity to come here and ask for freedom if I didn't have the passports. There's one victim in count 2, the sex trafficking charge. Mr. Combs wrote a very large check to someone he was in a relationship with for 10 years. People got in line for their checks. I had no idea 12 victims. I didn't know. I'm happy there's only one. This case we think is imminently manageable. I don't know what that means. There's one victim in count 2, the sex trafficking charge. Mr. Combs wrote a very large check to someone he was in a relationship with for 10 years. People got in line for their checks. I had no idea 12 victims.
What he's trying to say is that people are getting paid, trying to get paid, and they're not victims.
This case we think is eminently manageable. Pretrial Services says he has a criminal record, but he was acquitted. He is ready to do that again. What is Mr. Combs doing and why? He's here for treatment and therapy. Mr. Combs is not a perfect person. These toxic relationships were mutual. Oh, wow. So this is Combs, Diddy, his attorney talking, and he's trying to say that, like, it was toxic relationships, but it was mutual, is what he's saying. Now he is here trying to be better for the rest of his days. If there's one thing we've seen, we should stand with the people who are trying to get the help that they need. Somehow this hotel footage
exclude all the abuse that they did, right?
I wonder how that happened. We didn't have it. The government had it. So he's trying to say the government leaked it. Somehow this hotel footage found its way out. I wonder how that happened. We didn't have it.
That's right, Chris.
It got out on a day Donald Trump. What's Trump and everything? On a day Donald Trump didn't have any court proceedings. Mr. Combs saw it and issued an apology. Why did he delete it though? The government had it. It got out on a day Trump didn't have any court proceedings.
So what we're listening to is the notes from inside the courtroom today. Just in case anybody doesn't know, he is not being released on bond today. They are doing a bond appeal tomorrow at 3:30.
The cell phone and took his clothing. Let's read this again. I guess he's talking about the hotel situation. 2 people were in a hotel room. An issue that Mr. Combs had more than one girlfriend, okay? Victim 1 was looking through his phone and saw that then hit him in the head with a cell phone.
Yep.
Okay, so he's claiming that the lady, I guess Cassie, hit him in the head after looking through his phone and took his clothing, so he comes out in a towel. These two people were in love. Victim one ended up marrying the trainer that Mr. Combs got for her. Oh shit. They had been cheating on each other for years. But now she had 2 kids with the trainer. Years later, she realized she had a good thing with Mr. Combs. What in the heezy is this? That was 12 minutes ago. Let me refresh and see if let me see if we get some
What his
updates on
lawyers
this.
are
What
trying
a
to do is
mess.
to say that these women are all relationships and their relationships gone bad, but it's not trafficking or racketeering, or that's what he was trying to say, in my opinion. Obviously, we know different. If you've been paying attention to any of this.
She has her lawyers call his lawyer and say she has written a book. But if you want to buy the rights, you'll have the rights for $30 million. So I don't know if this is true or not, but we're kind of hearing like this is the first time we're hearing like Diddy's side of the story, right, through his attorney. Like we've never really he doesn't talk about it. We haven't. So we're now getting the other side.
Oh, except for all the little posts and videos that he made, like the apology and all that he then deleted afterwards. So, and the smart ass little comments that he makes. And again, if you're following all this stuff, some of this stuff is not a surprise to you.
So he's claiming that this chick was trying to blackmail him.
And he's talking about Cassidy, which is the girl that his girlfriend or ex-girlfriend that he abused. And most of you remember the video of them fighting at a hotel and he beat the shit out of her. Or you might have seen the video where she was underneath a sheet on the side of the bed after he beat her up really bad too. So very beautiful young lady.
I'm going to write this book and expose you, but you can buy the rights to it. You don't have to release it for $30 million. We have a recorded conversation. It did not go well for her and her lawyer. November 2023, she sues. When he contacts witnesses, it's not to stop a criminal investigation. It's to not be seen. That one. What? It's when he contacts witnesses, it's not to stop.
He named all the celebrities who ever attended his parties as a way to intimidate them. Yes, and in these notes, what he's reading just a minute ago, one of the victims that are involved in the case, just like not that long ago, maybe a week or so, 2 weeks ago, called her over 50 times. There's been a couple of the other witnesses that he's tried to intimidate. So because of these, because of what the charges are, because of the fact that they found drugs and different things like this in his hotel room last night when they went to go arrest him, because of the guns that have the serial numbers that are sawed off, I truly don't believe he's going to get a bond hearing. Now, I will say this. Nothing surprises me as a survivor of human trafficking, as someone that does this work right now in the anti-human trafficking movement. I can tell you that it wouldn't surprise me. Now, I don't think he's going to get a bond, but then again, you just never know. I think, in my opinion, there's a lot of celebrities and there's a lot of people that are attached to this. And I think just like with the Epstein case, if you all know that those that have followed us, we went to New York for that case. We supported that the survivors in that case. We did a rally up in New York and everything. And I can tell you right now, I know one of the victims, and they're still fighting to get the list that everybody's waiting on, that they keep playing with these bullshit lists that they're letting out, and that's not the ones we want. Those are names that have been putting out in the news forever. We want the list that the names that they're protecting. So breaking rapper P.Diddy, aka Sean Combs, denied. Yes, 100%. That's what we're listening to right now. We are listening to the notes just so we can kind of get an idea of what happened in the courtroom, right? And yeah. But Hollywood is the worst form of human trafficking aside from cab websites and street trafficking. I agree with that. And that's the difference and the unique. And this is also something with his case we also have to keep in mind. That we have to keep in mind. his case is a little bit different than some of the, well, if you understand how trafficking and all that works, you understand that drugs and guns and all this kind of stuff kind of usually goes along with it, right? Um, but when I say different, I mean he has politicians, he has big time fucking elite producers that have been, putting him in this position for a long time, if you ask me, in my opinion. Um, we have actors, we have pastors, we have men, we have women, we have people that were children at the time that some of this stuff happened. So there is a lot of, like, to whereas Epstein was young girls, and the way he kind of groomed them was to, pay for schooling in some situations and just other different things, right? Um, and there was kind of an elite community, right? Like you might have princes, you might have some politicians, but these are all very high, powerful people. To whereas with P. Diddy, you have all those people and more coming to the scene. So I wonder if they're going to question Justin Bieber. I hope they do, and I hope Justin Bieber speaks up, because I'll tell you right now, if you have watched any of the videos of when he was a child and he was there with him, um, that shit's heartbreaking, dude. And it really makes sense of all the reasons why he had all those issues. You know what I mean? Like, Justin's been through a lot of shit. But when you're a victim of horrifying things, it really fucks with you. And it's, and women victims, we deal with a certain thing, and there's some things that we deal with that men aren't going to understand, and the same thing vice versa. There's things that male victims have to deal with that we're not going to deal with as women or females. You know what I mean? And it's just, but both of them are horrible. Both of them will destroy you, kill you, and all this kind of really bad stuff. You're left with a world of bullshit for the rest of your life. No matter how much you think you can get it together, you're always fighting your trauma. So, with all that said, I really do wish and hope that Usher too. I believe Usher's got some, when he talks about some of the parties and some of his interviews and things like that, I can see him trying to be, like, disassociating, if that's the right word, if that makes sense. And same thing with Justin. I've seen this in his interviews as well. I know what disassociation looks like. I've done it. I can do it. I struggled with it a lot of my life. It's, I believe, a gift in some sense when you've been through severe trauma, because if you don't disassociate from a situation, it can really fuck you up. So a lot of trauma survivors learn how to disassociate, and it's a gift that I've been able to carry through my whole life, because even now in the work that I do, sometimes it gets really hard and I have to disassociate. And some people won't understand that, but it is what it is. Let's see. All right, let's go back to here. Yeah, I feel like there definitely did something to Justin. You can tell, and yeah, his eyes, but the eye, and Meek Mill's too. And I know there's been songs and there's been different, because now that all this stuff is coming out, people are breaking down, like, songs and all kinds of shit. Like, I feel sorry. And I'll be honest with you, I feel like he had something to do with the whole Biggie situation. I think, allegedly he might have had something to do with his ex-wife, Kim Porter. Like, we are talking about a very fucked up individual, and not just doing one thing. He has his hands in a multitude of bullshit. So that's why I don't think he's going to get bond tomorrow. Sorry, I go on a little soapbox, but all right, let's get back to some of the notes in the court so we can hear. And that way because I want to stay informed. I want to stay, now when the trial starts happening, I do plan somehow, even if I stand outside the courtroom, I don't give a fuck. I do want to be in New York when that goes down.
Investigation.
But I'm going to wait until the actual trial happens, because there's going to be a lot of different things leading up to it.
It's to not be seen, that one. Why is it depicted as a one-sided thing? There's 30 million reasons, $1 a piece, she said. I'm going to write a book and you can buy the rights. His lawyer continues and says the Don Richard lawsuit and Mr. Harper from the same band. The lawsuit says he did a couple of inappropriate things. Ms. Harper said, that was not my experience. That is not intimidation. It's divergent recollections. There's nothing wrong with that. His attorney continues and says, I'm not even sure Don Richard is a witness in this case. My client has done a darn thing. We have interviewed at least 6 of these males. We asked, did it seem non-consensual? Anyone too drunk or too high? They all said no. So according to this guy,
And I just want to,
attorney,
and he's probably going to say it too, but I'm going to say this. I'm sure by now most of you all have listened to court hearings, especially maybe something to do along these lines that have victims and different things like that. I will, and I should have said it in the beginning, a trigger warning, and always remember when you listen to stuff like this, there is going to be times where it sounds like they're blaming victims and all of that, and it can be completely, but just don't pay attention to that shit.
I mean, it's kind of interesting because they didn't even mention males.
Yeah, because there's males in this case.
And the like today, the charges and stuff, it's like they keep saying woman, but I know there's lawsuits.
And they're talking about Cassidy. That's what they're trying to focus on. They're trying to focus on Cassidy because they were in a relationship. But let me tell you something right now. You could be in a relationship with somebody and they still abuse you. You could still be in a relationship with somebody and they could traffic you. You could be, you know what I mean? And when you're dealing with somebody to that much power and prestige, not really, but you know what I mean? Crowd of people, domestic violence and trafficking on a simpleton note, or a simple note is not that anything simple about that. It's not probably the right word to use, but you get where I'm going. Is very hard when you don't have all these entities, all these powerful entities, and you're just dealing with basic domestic violence and basic human trafficking. And again, that's probably not the right word, but y'all know my heart, because there's nothing basic about either one of those things. But anyway, it's hard to get out of. Okay, it's very, very hard to get out of. It's just so much. When you think about it, you're dealing with somebody that is one of the most powerful people in the world. You know what I mean? It's very, 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 very dangerous. Yeah, because the love they pretend to have blinds you 100%, and you don't. They manipulate you. Sometimes you don't even know that you're what's going on. And especially as fucked up as he's kept her, which that happens a lot too. A lot of people stay, and they keep people in that state of mind because they're not usually going to fight back. You know what I mean? And they can control them and they can manipulate them. So yeah, it's the worst form of manipulation of the highest degree. Yeah. And unless you've experienced it, that's why so many people go, I just don't understand. Why don't people just leave? Da 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 da. You know, and it doesn't work like that. And then the Stockholm syndrome that comes along with it, because people are like, why do people go back? I can never put it in words and explain it. It's just something that is it's just evil. So my hearts go out to all the victims.
Things have happened to them. So he says we interviewed at least 6 of these males. We asked them, did it seem non-consensual? Anyone too drunk or too high? They all said no. Then his attorney says, is it sex trafficking if everyone wants to be there? Oh my gosh. Wow.
Everybody wants to be there. Yeah, okay.
Wow. No, we don't want the federal government in our bedroom. The kidnapping, we spoke to the victim. She didn't use that word to us. One day it may be heard. Mr. Combs employs a security company. Mr. Combs has nothing to do with how guns are kept in his house. He needs security in the sections of LA and Miami he lives in. Did they do?
So I don't know. Y'all know a whole lot about security teams, but I can tell you right now, security teams, got one. I can promise you, not near, and I'm saying near, not near one of them guns, serial numbers are shaved off. Just saying. So get the fuck out of here.
We're wrong. No for us to say. Not his gun. R. Kelly, that involved children. 100%. They cannot consent. Yo, he's snapping back. Jeffrey Epstein, children. Keith Rainier, children. We have a substantial bail package. Some family members are here. They love him. A $50 million bond secured by a $48 million piece of property on August 20th. We paid off $18 million mortgage. We know about that. Okay, I gotta refresh now. This is so interesting.
Oh yeah, they're going.
Okay,
Doesn't surprise me though. These are his lawyers.
Okay.
You think
So
this is
they
bad?
paid
Sit in a
$50
courtroom while this shit's going on.
$8 million. So it's fully paid off with a $50 bond. It's the house, I guess, in Miami. One day we'll have a fair trial. We have substantial defenses to come. We have substantial defenses to each of these charges. Mr. Combs is handling this head on. He's become a punching bag. He's built businesses from
Oh yeah, because
scratch.
he's the victim, right? Get the fuck
His
out of
father
here.
was killed when he was 2 years old.
So fucking what? Everybody, there's a lot of people that go through shit and they're not out here fucking trafficking and abusing people. So suck a dick.
A minute ago. So now we're caught up. This is a minute ago. Defense counsel has his critique of law enforcement, but he has not rebutted the presumption that the defendant should be detained. He has not rebutted the presumption that the defendant should be detained. Okay. Let me refresh it. So the prosecution said their piece, the defense said their piece. Now there's a chance for them to rebuttal. Let's see here. 3 days after the November 2023 lawsuit, the defendant is recorded saying he doesn't want to talk on the phone. It might be tapped. He uses armed security with defaced AR-15 stored in the defendant's personal closet. Absurd.
It's hard.
Just gotta keep refreshing. Let me put it in the chat. So I did a little poll. What you guys think was going to be the will bond be approved? Yes or no? Do a little poll. So interesting. Okay, still waiting for the update. Wow. I'm so glad that we have an idea now what's going on in the courtroom because we've been sitting here waiting, you know? Waiting for the next update. It looks like they're about to wrap up. So I wonder if his attorneys can say anything when they end this. Here we go, another update. For the record, we're proceeding on a theory of lack of consent, that she was coerced to participate in those sex acts. So the judge says he wouldn't be a danger, would he, if he only engaged in these behaviors with consenting adults. And the attorney says we have the hallway video. Proceeding on a theory lack of consent, that she was coerced to participate in those sex acts. Judge said he wouldn't be a danger, would he, only if he engaged in the behaviors, but that's true, with consenting adults. But because supposedly these people are not consenting, I guess they're trying to say maybe it's a danger to the public. Okay, let's see. What else we got? The bail, they haven't said yet whether it was denied or not. Right now, that's what they're arguing in the court. And then once they're done arguing it, I guess the judge has to make a decision, and I guess they're going to come out the courthouse after.
That's a little bit, because I feel like he says something in a second about what the judge said.
Where's the judge going? Say. Somebody said, just point out 1,000 bottles of baby oil indicate that the defendant is very slippery.
Shit. That's somebody's comment.
All right, let's see. Refresh. Last message was we have a hallway video. Money talks, it does, right? When you got money, it's true. When you got money, oh, the things you can pull off. Still waiting on a reply. Better not give a bail. I wonder if this person has a cell phone they're typing it up on.
Well, that's why I think, Chris, that's why I think they're trying to make sure the judge, we're trying to sell the plane. We're trying to sell the plane. I hope they don't give him bail, period.
But you can't get consent if you've been drugged.
All the bullshit
I guess they're trying
and
to argue like
harm
they
he's caused.
willingly
Let his
took
ass
the
sit in that
drugs,
fucking
but
cage for a little bit.
it's like you take it and you're so messed up and whatever. I don't know, you guess you can't really consent when you're like really messed up, or whatever.
Right.
I mean, they're claiming there's a lot of intimidation and the videos and all this stuff. But the attorney's trying to say that these people are willing participants and that the toxicity went both ways. That's what he's trying to say. And he's also saying that this lady tried to blackmail him with the book. I don't know. Insane, man. That's a bit mad weird. Be on Twitter watching me. They can validate a good personality. This is weird. I didn't even comment on this person's post. They're just watching the YouTube video and then leaving a comment under the post that I'm reading. You don't leave a comment or nothing. Weird. All right, let's see. Still waiting for an update. Okay, we got an update. So now Diddy's attorney is talking and says this is a slippery slope. Slippery slope, right? All this
I don't think you
thousands
should.
of whatever
Hopefully not.
lube. Maybe you will. The government is going to say she was coerced. She had to say that to go for the $30 million. We have a serious bail package. I hope Your Honor can see that Mr. Combs has done things to show that he is trustworthy. Okay, I guess we're getting close to wrapping it up. I hope the judge just decides right now. This just the irony. All right, we're waiting. See what the judge says.
We know that she granted no bail,
And
but I just want to hear what the statement was with it.
But Diddy's attorney says, I'm trusting you. Okay, I'm asking you to trust me. I have my eye on him. We speak 5 times a day. I want to thank you, Your Honor. The Honor says, thank you. I'm going to take a short recess and invite pretrial services to join me in the robing room. Judge leaves the courtroom. Okay, so now we're waiting. We're going to take a little recess. I guess the judge has to decide. And the attorney's making a plea. Saying, trust me. I have my eye on him. So we'll wait now, short recess. I guess in the meantime, while we wait, find another video.
Maybe something.
Diddy. I mean, if Diddy gets out on bail, he's probably popping his pills and chilling, and I mean, he could have everything delivered to him, his drugs, and
Right. He had all this shit in the hotel room with him last night.
oh, and man, this guy interviewed him. Podcast.
Listen, this is what happened. I said, yo, Big, somebody gonna try to come kill us tonight. Well, you would say flip on him, but I would say let people know what's happening in the truth behind him. Do you think Diddy was an FBI
This
informant?
is one of his bodyguards that's been speaking up.
Former bodyguard here with us, Gene Deal, who's made a lot of money. Listen, he's been talking for many years. And Rob, I think the oldest video we found of Gene to start talking about this stuff was, I believe, 8 years ago. We were literally looking at the camera talking to Diddy about different stories and things that happened. Here's some of the stories. When's the first time?
Her father, he's a rapper. He when he got jumped in,
Waiting. I guess his partner, maybe another attorney partner that he has. Attorneys dipped out when he took a really short break, the judge took. Thank you so much for the subscribe, appreciate it.
Something should be coming up because I think he said that they're waiting on the attorneys to get back in the courtroom.
So all these days waiting for the press conference, you're gonna need a Diddy IV. A Diddy IV. Yeah, still waiting. So as far as the poll, it says we had almost 1,900 votes. 29% say they believe the law will be approved. 71% say no. We'll see. It'd be really interesting if Diddy gets out. Gets to go home under supervision. Oh no. 1 second, me. Okay. I want to make sure my internet doesn't act up. You see this works? Okay, good. I was trying to load up the Twitter. It's not working for me. There we go. Oh no. Weird. Okay. Google Chrome doing it. Okay. So the judge says, in this case, I find the presumption has not been rebutted, so Sean Combs will be detained. Ooh.
Good.
No bail. No bail or bond? Bail/bond for Diddy. Ooh. No bail. No bail for Diddy, man. Now we'll see however long it takes to get out. We'll see if they do a little press conference now. No bail. But I like when you say no, I like that. Mamma mia. So he's probably not going to get high for a while unless he finds a plug inside where he's at. But it might be hard. It's a federal thing. So he said, thank God the streets are a lot safer. So no bond. Oh, he has been denied bond. Yep. Bond denied.
I don't know. I'll have to go check him out.
I knew I saw the name. Very cool. On Twitter.
I can't remember if I watch him or not. It don't sound familiar.
Let me see what else. If there's anything else. Diddy's probably pissed. Probably not used to not getting his way. And money.
I feel like there's
getting
another
out of
thing
situation.
the judge said.
Sean Combs will remain detained. Judges ruled and SBN why. Inner City Press Live tweeted below. Okay. All right. So I'm wondering if they're going to come out the courthouse now. This is what it looks like outside the courthouse. That's what we're looking at. We're looking at the microphones, but behind the microphones, a lot of media outside, everybody waiting. I wonder if his attorney's going to say anything. I wonder if Diddy has support out there besides his family. Like, is there any bad boy entertainment supporters out there? Take that. The judge says there was significant violence and weapons around. Also, coercion of witnesses, even gentle coercion, can be effective. The type of behavior we're talking about happens behind closed doors. I think your family members I think he meant to say, I thank your family members for coming, but I cannot release him. Oh.
That's what I thought for the intimidating witnesses.
Cannot. So his sons came there, by the way, for the new people that joined. His sons came in support. They said his daughters weren't there, but his sons came in support. The adult sons. And the judge says, no, can't do it. Sorry. So I guess they're going to put him in handcuffs from here.
Yeah, and
so it must be,
yeah, I heard about that.
I'm wondering who's going to do the presser, the attorney, the prosecution, the defense, or both.
All right. Well, we already watched the press conference his lawyer gave, so that's in the
judge said
video. All right, y'all. I'm gonna jump off because I have to get ready for work. Yeah, it is 100%. But yeah, I've heard that before. When I was looking at shit that happened. So, all right. Well, this video, just like the rest of them, will go into members only. So if you want to watch it, be a member. Otherwise, I will see you guys later. Everybody, thanks for tuning in. I do work third shift. I'm going to try to be up so we can see if we can get the results tomorrow, because tomorrow there is a bond appeal. So I'm going to try to be up by 3:30 and at least start the live, and it'll be like it is today. Ain't no fancy shit over here. Sorry, y'all. We just listening to people that obviously knows they're there. So anyway, everybody have a great night. Talk to y'all later. Be a part of the solution, not the problem. You can be the problem, be the whole fucking problem, and don't ever, under no circumstances, protect predators. Holler.